confusion, no evolution. Doesn't matter anymore. Who's up there trying to keep the score? Her world's got me sure. Ended by the nuclear war.
Okay, that was the Hypnotics that you just saw, and now they're here with me. And why don't we start off and introduce yourself here on the left?
I'm Doug Wood, lead guitar.
I'm Steve Kramer, keyboards.
I'm Marky Desad, vocals, antiques, sex doll user.
Marvin Wilson, second keyboards.
Richard Von Scully, drums.
Stephen Goldsmith, bass.
Okay, why don't we start off here with how the band met and got together as you are now?
Let me see. We started off about a year ago. October was like our first gig, so we'd practice for it. Steve is the leader of the band. He organized us and bossed us around. We used to practice in his garage. It was like a German concentration sweat box. It's like a torture chamber in there. And everybody used to be real close like that, so we got to become close musicians because of it.
And then what you just played was what you've done that time, your new album?
Yeah, it's off our new album. We did Sometimes, which Steve sang, and I'm Running, which is Richard's Von Scully's song. And I did Celebrity Killer, Kitty Porn, and Sizzling in the City. That's off this album right here.
Okay, yeah, why don't you get the camera, get a plug there. It's on Enigma Records.
Enigma.
Okay, what about future plans as far as records go?
Well, Steve and I and the boys have been working on a new record. It's a new sound for us, but still based on the bizarre things of life. And it's a good sound. I'm sure a lot of people are going to really like it.
Mm-hmm. In terms of sales, how's your first album done?
Well, we're doing better like in England and places like that than here because we haven't been playing enough here. And the reason why is just because we've been practicing and working on. We're ready to go out there, so if any bar mitzvahs, birthday parties, we'll come and play.
I was wondering, you said, because you haven't been playing here, you haven't, gotten real popular or anything. Have you played in England?
Oh, no. We've just played in bars in Southgate and garages in Lakewood.
What do you think accounts for your album doing pretty good in England?
Because our album is good. It's very fast, and it's got a good sound to it. It's a good band.
Do you think that now a lot of the bands from, I guess you consider yourself from L.A., right?
Right.
Right. Bands like X and, they were the ones who really made it big. But I know Channel 3 and Black Flag, they're all, all around the world, people know about them. Do you see that, that the L.A. music is especially good?
I think so. What do you guys say? L.A.?
Yeah.
Well, I think they've come to a conclusion there that L.A. is a good band.
How do you think it compares to, other areas as far as?
Well, I think that we definitely have our own sound now, the hardcore sound that's ours, and I think it's, and it's starting to go back into England where, we think it all started, and it's starting to make a definite impact on them, so. And it is L.A. bands.
What's your influences?
The Pistols is one of our biggest, What about you, Steve?
Darby. I think Darby Crash was one of my...
The Germs, definitely.
And do you find that you're trying to go beyond what they did? Is that kind of it?
Well...
Or are they just kind of like...
No, we're trying to make our own sound that is influenced by them, really. We're not... we don't really think that we can perfect their sound, but we can make our own.
I think we just, decided that we would have our own sound, and we came up with it, and we published it, and, we just proved to the people that we could do it, and we could show them that we have a lot of material for them, that would be appealing to them. So, that's why we put out our first album, because we knew it was good stuff, and the people would accept it. It's just a matter of getting it to the right people.
And do you think that you found an audience?
Well, yeah, I think we've established that now because everywhere we play...
But we're working on it, really. Right now we're working on it.
We do pick up, more followers. and this is important. We're getting out there now, and people are very, they're enjoying it because it's very theatrical and it's entertaining. This is important.
It's fast and it's fun, and I think that's what we push a lot, is to have a good time. And most people that see us, how can you not have a good time when someone has a sex doll on stage? Come on.
Do you find that you use like a lot of props and stuff like that? Or?
I do. I like bringing a whole box of stuff. I never, I like going to Toys R Us and finding. I have this rubber iguana that I'm in love with, and I just do things with all the time. So but I always surprise the guys with, I bring it out, and whatever I feel like doing, they let me do, and that's really great.
So it's kind of like theatrics.
Yeah, it's kind of like S&M prop,
Do you think it's like maybe on the level as like Alice Cooper was?
No, because it's not. There's no money involved. I mean,
right.
I'm sure if we had money, we'd do stuff like that. Because it's fun and it's visual. But no, it's not just because it's just raw. It's just a real basic kind of rock band.
Uh-huh. Well, where are you going to be playing now? Are you going to be playing anywhere locally?
We should be playing HJ's, right, Steve?
It's hard to say. Right now we're looking into the Troubadour and the Roxy, a few places. And hopefully there'll be a few other places in Orange County. But we're looking into possibilities of organizing some big gigs with some good names, because we know a lot of nice people. And we're looking forward to getting with them and playing.
Do you think it's a problem with like the Whiskey closed and like the Roxy is really, I mean, you're not going to get hardcore punk at the Roxy.
Tough. It's hard to get in there to begin with, I mean, especially if you have anything to do, any affiliation with the hardcore punk or anything, it's sort of hard. They shy away from it. But what you have to do is, like we've done, we've changed a little bit towards a new fashion, and they're accepting it. So it's looking pretty good. Possibly that we get in there soon.
Okay, well, I think that concludes it for the interview, and I'd like to thank the Hypnotics and the Vandals who were on earlier, and now we'll have record reviews with the people of Flipside Magazine, and that's it for Media Blitz this week, as soon as we do the record reviews.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, welcome to Flipside Record Reviews. My name is Pooch. This is Hudley. First record I want to review is Wall of Voodoo, called The West. Needless to say, I like this band. I think they've got some really good lyrics. I mean, who else would write, I wish I was in Tijuana eating barbecued iguana. True poets of the modern age. They've improved a lot. They've been in the scene a long time. Various bands, the Skulls, and, things like that. Joe's haircut looks cool, and I don't know, I think they're really an important band. Buy the record. It's one of the only few that I would actually suggest purchasing. Holly?
Hi, and this is one from the Midwest called Master Tape. It's real good because it's a compilation of a bunch of punk bands, and I'll name some of the bands that are on the album. One's Toxic Reasons, which played out here in L.A. They're from Ohio, and there's another band called the Slammies. Battered Youth is on this. The Delinquents is on this, and the Zero Boys. They're from Indiana. Articles of Faith from Chicago. And this is on Affirmative Records, and it's from, I'll say the address in case you're interested in getting a hold of it, if you can't find it. It's P.O. Box 30253, Indiana. It's in Indiana 46220. And there's another good. The Learned Helplessness is on this. The FUs is on this. The Patterns, they're from Indiana. And the Die Cross is from Milwaukee. And I want to read some lyrics from this. You get a poster with all the bands on it and some lyrics and some things about the bands on it. There's something real interesting on here. From Articles of Faith. They're from Illinois. And they have a song called False Security. And it says in here, someone said the truth lies in their eyes. You can see the facts right through their lies. And I feel so safe when I realize No amount of clothes can save the body when the guts are rotting out inside. I thought that was interesting. And learned helplessness is real interesting too. It's right here. And it says, learned helplessness is the acquired belief that one cannot exert any control over the environment, which I thought was real interesting. You get a lot of crass symbolism in here and ideas, and I think it's a must to get. I think it's real neat. Okay, Pooch.
Okay, well, not nearly as impressive would be like this Fast Freddy and the Precisions album, which came out on Bomb. I don't know. For what they're trying to do, I think it's been done so much better before. I mean, the guys are good musicians and all. Fast Freddy would like to be Tom Waits, and he doesn't have the angst in there, I don't think. A lot of songs about drinking and all, and it gets kind of monotonous after a while. The guys have been in various bands, and you know, the side 2 is just a long blues jam, you know, but you may as well go out and buy a Jay Giles record, you know, one of the old ones or something for what they're trying to do. All in all, I don't know. I don't think it's that super great, and just because it has everybody's name on the back here and they thank everybody in the world on the LA scene, doesn't mean it's worth purchasing. No thanks. Go ahead, Holly.
This has kind of been out for a while. It's Zounds, Curse of Zounds. They're a real good band, and they first came out on Crass Records with a single, and which was called Subvert. And this is real good because it's real anarchy. They preach anarchy, and yes, they're real interesting lyrics. Seeing they have a little record slate that has all their lyrics on it. It's kind of Crass-like. You can get a picture of this. It's real neat.